month 4 and 5, I was living my life. I was better and didn't have to try not to think of you until you reached out and said, remember that night we went for a drive, 2:30 in the morning. I guess you, it was boring. We held each other tight before the night was over. You looked over your shoulder. Oh, I was doing fine. You said, remember that night, remember that night. Oh, I was doing fine. You said, remember that night, remember that night. The day after you had reached out, I was broken for the second time around. I prayed on the third day that I would be okay, that I'd forget you were ever mine. Well, I don't think you realize how long I had to fight to be living my life, to get better and never have to try not to think of you until you reached out and said,